and he's laughed off stage. Cries himself to sleep that night, but the next morning, what does he do? He practices. And he practices and he practices with one goal in mind, never to be laughed at again.
Okay, so living in this material world as a corrupt man, it is already difficult enough to resist temptation, to try to improve yourself and become pious, to reconnect with the divine, let alone with the pressures of society from people who are happy with this cycle that they live in. But unfortunately, that is something you will have to face in your process of self-discovery. You see, what you have to understand is that this process you're going to of self-discovery and self-improvement, this metamorphosis that you're going through, it's an arc.
Like everybody starts out somewheres, and then they do something gets done to them, changes their life. That's called their arc. Where's my arc?
So it's going to be painful because you have to suffer and lose everything that brings you comfort first in order to have that foundation upon which you'll build a new identity, a better man, an improved man. And that includes losing the respect of people, strangers and friends alike. And obviously that hurts because we are inherently social creatures. When we are outcasted and ridiculed by our tribe, that usually meant that death was coming for us, right? So that's why it hurts so much. It's a very heavy pain when you're outcasted by people, even if you don't know them. It brings a great sense of stress and fear. And sometimes it can be the last straw when you're already prone to depression, when you're already struggling in this journey. It can be the final thing that just pushes you and makes you give up. But what you have to consider is the character of the person who's criticizing you, as obvious as that may seem. You have to truly consider it, not only in the present, but decades from now, where they'll end up, what kind of person they'll be. Because the thing is, these normies who live in blind consumption, obedience, these people who will eventually eat the bugs, are doomed. They're screwed. And they're not even happy. Maybe they'll get a short bout of this artificial happiness when they consume or when they conform with their like-minded friends. But deep down at the root of their heart, they're like us, in that they're not content with where they are. They're lost and they're scared. But the difference is that they embrace the material world. That's their remedy to this. Instead of seeking something higher, they embrace it. They embrace the comfort that's destroying them instead of rejecting it. If you don't even respect these people, you never want to be like them, you never want to emulate their behaviors, their life, then why would you give credence to their criticism? Why would you let it affect you, alter your future, the future purpose and happiness that you could obtain? Why would you forego that in return for acceptance from people who don't even really care about you? They probably don't even care about themselves. And I should note that I'm not talking about these people from some position of superiority, and nor should you, because they're like us. They're victims of this realm like us, with the difference being how they respond to it, which is partially their responsibility. And if you've ever listened to the song The Unforgiven by Metallica, then you'll be familiar with the struggle, because Hetfield, he grows resentful at society for trying to make him conform, and destroying his true identity. And the thing is that resentfulness can be a very powerful force when you know how to channel it into something positive. But it can also eat you up if you're not careful. It can destroy you. It can make them win. So the avenue of just rejecting them, ignoring them, I think is much more healthy. And just on a final note, to close off the video, you should know that eventually you'll be rewarded for your efforts. Now that can come through in many different ways. Maybe it'll be in the form of friends who truly care about you, who are like-minded. Or maybe it might be waiting for you after death. Maybe it's something you cannot comprehend, that you won't experience until death. But either way, I truly believe that there's light at the end of the tunnel. So that's all. Never capitulate.